Welcome back, everybody, to Fullback Friday, your weekly dose of fullback content here on the Miller Football channel. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is David. I also go by Miller Football. And today we're going to be switching things up a bit. We're going to be talking about one specific play. And the reason I want to talk about this play is because it is quite possibly the funniest thing I have ever seen happen on a football field. And thankfully, for the purposes of this series, it just so happened to involve someone playing fullback. Didn't involve a fullback, but someone slotted in the position. You'll see what I mean when we actually get into the breakdown. I know some of you are probably expecting me to be talking about the conference championship games. You know, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Eagles, all three teams have fullbacks. We'll be talking about them next week. We've got a 2-week gap between the Super Bowl and the conference championship games. So I'll be pushing that back a week in favor of doing this week. You know, focusing on the guys actually in the game a little bit closer to the game itself. But, you know, all that out of the way. Just for quick context, this was 2023, so we're throwing it back to last year. The Bears are playing the Saints. Kari Blasingame unfortunately went out in the first quarter with a concussion. And so the Bears, as opposed to taking 21 personnel out of their playbook for the remainder of the game, tried to put different players in at fullback. They did some wonky shit. Tyler Scott got a rep there, who was a sub 200-pound wide receiver. Didn't do great. They tried Cole Kmet back there. He did all right. And then they tried a third player, which is who we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and jump into the film and talk about, like I said, probably the single funniest thing I've ever seen happen on a football field. All right, here we go. Man of the hour, Robert Tonyan, Big Bob Tonyan. Very good receiving tight end for the Green Bay Packers once upon a time. Big time red zone threat. Aaron Rodgers loved him. Left, went to my Bears. Wasn't the best. Wasn't the best. And then I think most recently he was a member of the Vikings practice squad. Once upon a time, hell of a player. One thing he's never been great at is blocking. Never been a great blocker. He's been able to get in the way of people, and sometimes that's all you need to do. You know, look at Travis Kelce. He's made a career off of getting in the way of people and catching the football, right? Sometimes that's all you need to do. This play, I mean, we're just gonna play it. We're just gonna play it. I can't. Words cannot do what's about to happen justice. I mean, I don't understand the thought process here, man. Like you're a tight end. You're getting to block a corner one-on-one. This is like a tight end or a fullback's dream, right? Getting a corner one-on-one in open space and getting the opportunity to just go and lay him out as a lead blocker is like what tight ends and fullbacks dream of, right? Because you have your linebackers are a little bit harder to hit. You have your defensive linemen, they're harder to take on one-on-one as well. Some guys like the challenge, and, you know, credit to them, right? There's a lot of guys out there who play this position just because they want to put dudes in the dirt. And you have a prime opportunity to do that right here. You have a prime opportunity to make this corner never forget the name Robert Tonyan. You have the prime opportunity to haunt his dreams for the rest of his life. And instead, you go over him. I just don't get it. I just really don't get it. So taking a look at the play design here, it's pretty simple, right? Everybody is going to slant upward here, except for Darnell Wright, who's going to go up to the second level. Robert Tonyan is going to be asked to cut across. Roschon Johnson's going to take the handoff and cut across. It's a counter play. Tyson Bagent is going to hand this off to Roschon. Off to the left side of your screen here. Pretty simple, like I said. You get DJ Moore coming over. He's going to try to pick up Pete Werner. You know, by all accounts, this is a well-blocked play. Now, there are two misses on this play. No, I will say Tonyan's not alone. DJ Moore does get beat by Pete Werner. But in DJ Moore's defense, this is a lot harder to pull off. It's a lot harder for a receiver to block a downhill run-stuffing linebacker than it is for a tight end to block a corner. You know, there's a lot different there. Now, not making excuses for DJ Moore. He should still make his block, but I'm just saying there's a level of difficulty, right? There's levels to this. So you have two blocks that get missed. It's not like this play's going for a touchdown if Bobby Tonyan hits his block here. You're probably getting 5 yards making this second and medium at least. You know? Like Roschon, he's a hard runner. The angle these two are coming at, like you see Werner trips a little bit. We've got Cam Jordan here having to loop around and come from a disadvantageous angle. Hell, maybe Roschon does break it, right? Maybe he's quick enough to break it and, take care of Tyrann Mathieu up here one-on-one, not get brought down by him. But you're getting more yards than the two here. Tonyan's got like a very important block. He's the lead blocker. He's got one of the most important assignments on the play. And instead of doing anything right, and I do mean anything right, we get this. He runs up to the corner, does a great job of getting himself in position. I will say, I said he didn't do anything right. He gets in position well enough. And then he becomes a Minecraft villager. Someone explained to me why you would think it's a good idea to approach a defender as a blocker with your arms crossed in front of you. Who told him this was how you set a block? Who told him you cross your arms out in front and lead with your shoulder? Whoever told him that should never coach in football again. Ever. I don't know if it was Luke Getsy. I don't know if it was the Bears tight ends coach at the time, the pass game coordinator. I don't know if it was the great Lord above who entered his mind like he was Troy Polamalu pre-snap and said, Robert, I need you to block with your shoulder. Whoever told him that needs to stay away from football, because that is the exact opposite of what you do. Anyone that knows anything about this sport can tell you what Tonyan needs to do here is get his hands out in front of him. Instead, he leads with the shoulder, doesn't even make contact with the shoulder. He makes contact with his elbow. The only part of his body that touches this defender is his elbow. Why? It's so easy to just put your hands up. And again, maybe that doesn't even complete the block, right? Maybe he gets his hands up and the corner still just does a great job of getting underneath of him. If that's the case, then I'm not sitting here making this video. I'm saying, man, Tonyan tried. That was a hell of a play by the corner. Instead, I'm saying that was a hell of a play by the corner, but also, Robert Tonyan, what the fuck are you doing? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I can't even begin to comprehend why he thinks that's the right thing to do. I would love to sit down and talk to Robert Tonyan and just ask him why he thought that in that split moment. Right? And I get it, it's a split-second decision. But at a certain point, muscle memory has to be, you get your hands up. And again, if he didn't make the block, if he got his hands up and he didn't make the block, and this was the play played out the exact same way, his hands were just out in front of him instead of up underneath of him, this video's not getting made. It's not. Point blank period, it's not. It's just, it's so infuriating to watch, man. Like, literally, anyone could have made this block on this team, right? Just take a look at some of the guys on the Bears that could have been in this position that I am very confident would have gotten their hands up. Cole Kmet, good blocking tight end. You literally just say, hey, Cole, you're going here. Robert, you're going here. Then I'm fully confident this play works out better. Just swap those two. Things work out way better. Not saying like you bring Kmet back as the ball snap and then send Tonyan up. That wouldn't work. But like you just literally, before you line up or as you're lining up, you just put Tonyan there and Kmet at the other spot. You get the point. That could have worked. Another player just on the field that could have made that block, Roschon Johnson. You know what you're probably thinking, why would you want the guy who's holding the ball to make the block? You take him off the field, okay? Don't be a smartass. I know you're out there, Daniel. Don't be a smartass, okay? What I'm saying is you take Roschon, put him where Tonyan is, and then put another back there. I'm suggesting this because Roschon Johnson did that a lot in college. At Texas, he was essentially playing fullback for Bijan Robinson quite a bit, and he was pretty damn good at it. He tried his ass off, and he always got his hands up out in front of him. That would work out great. Looking at the rest of the roster, Mercedes Lewis is also an option. I get it. He was like 85 at this point. But those 85 years have given him the wisdom to put his hands up. I guarantee he would have done a better job. You know, I'm sure there were other guys on the team too. You could have put an extra lineman back there. You know, there's plenty of options. Or you could have just told Robert Tonyan pre-snap, hey, get your hands up, Rob. Although I guess you shouldn't have to do that. that was a stupid thing to say because you shouldn't have to do that. Now, that being said, in Tonyan's defense, he should never be in this position in the first place. Luke Getsy, looking at Kari Blasingame going down and going, yep, Robert Tonyan's our best option for a fullback is mind-blowing to me. That's never been Tonyan's forte. Why you would take a receiving tight end and put them back there as opposed to a blocking tight end or a player that is known for being able to block at least a little bit blows my mind. I don't get it. Realistically, I know I'm giving Tonyan a lot of shit here just because that's what's physically in front of me. Luke Getsy is the source of, the core issue I have with this play, because Tonyan should never be in this position to begin with. But I digress. I have spoken for 9 minutes about this one single play. Good God. All this to say, Robert Tonyan, I'm sorry, dog, but don't step foot in the backfield again. Stay on the line. Stay as a wing tight end. Go line up at receiver. Do anything else. Just stay out of the backfield because it is not going to end well for you. You just don't have that in your wheelhouse, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. All credit to Robert Tonyan. He's a good pass catcher. He tore my Bears a new one as a member of the Packers in the red zone as a pass catcher. Let him stick to that. That is what he's good at. Let him do that. Instead, Luke Getsy said, nah, Kari, you're out. Tonyan, you're up. And I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But, the past is the past. We've moved on. We're long gone. It's still like, I know I prompted this by saying this is the funniest play I've ever seen, but this is also the most infuriating play I've ever seen. Just one more time for the road. Just up and over. And then the best part about it, man, is Tonyan at the end. He's looking around like, well, that didn't work. Like, yeah, man, I wonder why. But anyways, folks, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below, as it does help out the channel a ton. It shows your support, it shows you care, and I really do appreciate it. And also make sure to let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this video. I know it's a little bit different than what I normally do. Typically, we talk about more than one play, and these videos are a decent bit longer. But, this play, it was just something else, and I really wanted to highlight it. So let me know if you like this format, if you think I should just stick to longer form, whatever you think. Let me know. And also, if you have any suggestions, any ideas for this series moving forward, I'm all ears. I love making these breakdowns. I'm going to continue making them, but at the end of the day, this is meant to be a variety series. And while I do have ideas for other things, quizzes and things of that nature, if you have any ideas, I'm all ears. I'd love to know what you all want to see, and I'd love to be able to provide that. And also to Robert Tonyan, just because I'm trying to be a little bit more positive as a content creator, trying to be less negative. I talked a lot of crap during the draft grades videos, and I learned my lesson with that. So this year, I'm trying to be a lot more positive. Robert Tonyan, good receiving tight end, right? He has a lot of value as a pass catcher for an NFL team. Blocking just isn't his forte, and that's okay. Not everyone has to be a fantastic blocker. I like them a lot more when they are, but to each their own, right? And on top of that, I don't know if Robert Tonyan had ever played a fullback snap before this play. So putting him in a position where the main goal is something that he's not great at, and then telling him to play that position for the first time in a game scenario, probably not going to yield the best results most of the time. So, despite this being definitely one of his lowlights, he's got plenty of highlights. As a Bears fan, I can remember him tearing us up in the red zone in Green Bay. So, and also, on top of all that, he's a millionaire at the end of the day. I'm a broke college kid who's really getting the last laugh, right? But regardless, like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And to everyone out there watching, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it because you're all wonderful people and you truly do deserve it.
Had a chance on the throwback. This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder. Wow. Using that